Meanwhile, what happened off it over the last few days has grabbed the headlines worldwide. This very, very public spat between Eric Abidal and Lionel Messi. Am I right as it stands? Barcelona will have us believe that it's over, that everyone's happy, that we're moving on?
Well, that's what they want us to believe, and of course that is actually what they have to do now. You know, you can't really deal with this any other way except to just try and calm things down, to try and put out the flames. And of course, this result, had it gone another way, would have helped. But in this case, it hasn't helped at all. It's done the complete opposite. I think there are a couple of reasons why, while some of us, and I include myself in this, assumed that when we saw this response from Messi, that Abidal would get sacked. I think there's a couple of reasons why that doesn't happen in the end. One, of course, is the fact that if you sack Abidal because Messi has said this, you fuel the rumours even more that Messi is in charge at the club and that what Messi says goes. So it doesn't help anyone. It doesn't even help Messi to do that. And so I think what you have to do, of course, is to calm things down and then deal with this further down the track. But I just don't see a scenario in which Abidal survives beyond the end of the season, to be honest with you.
Reports are obviously suggesting that Manchester City are keeping an eye on this whole situation, as imagine any reporter would try and link these two together. Is it true that Messi can leave at the end of the season for free, Sid?
Yes, it's true that he can. There is a clause in his contract that allows him to do that. In fact, Abidal said this in this interview. These were two very, very long interviews on the same day. But of course, those interviews have been almost entirely overlooked because of the one phrase that provoked the response from Messi. But in one of those two interviews with El Mundo Deportivo and with Sport, he says that, yes, this is true, this clause is there, but I'm not worried about it. And Messi has to communicate to us his decision in May. I suppose from all of our points of view, that's a good thing because it means we won't be doing this all summer, that there is a point at which it has to be dealt with, and it happens early enough, mercifully.
We will, though, be talking about it all the way up to May until we hear about it. Yes, we will. If you could put a percentage on it, what would you say to the fact that Lionel Messi could be playing somewhere that isn't Barcelona at the start of next season?
Yeah, I mean, the minute you say it like that, it just feels completely unbelievable. Messi has said repeatedly that he doesn't want to leave Barcelona. He has said repeatedly that he wants to retire there. The only other option that he's ever floated, and actually he's gone very quiet on this in the last 4 or 5 years, is that maybe he would go back and play for Newell's Old Boys one day, but that he's not going to go. The problem is, of course, that if that clause is there, it is at the very least there so that this thought can be entertained, so that if there is a need, and whether it's a real need or not, but a perceived need from him to move on, that it can happen. And I think he will look at it and he will think, I'm 33, haven't won the Champions League since 2015. Frankly, looking at them now, it doesn't look very likely that they're going to win the Champions League now. He's looking at a squad that's been debilitated, a team that around him isn't functioning, an institution that's falling apart. And the temptation must be enormous to think, well, I've maybe only got 2 years left. I want to win the European Cup in one of these 2 years. And so the temptation then maybe to chase that, I think, will be huge. If you've asked for a percentage, I'm saying he's 75% stay. But right now it's very, very difficult to judge. Very difficult.
Would you leave, Stevie?
I wasn't expecting that, 75%. I thought Sid was going to say about 5% or something.
Yeah.
Would I leave? It's very difficult to put yourself in the shoes of somebody like Messi, to be honest with you. And every single thing he's ever said, not just recently, but in his whole career, has been about as honest as it's possible to get. And so when this guy's saying that he doesn't want to leave Barcelona, you kind of think this guy is loyal also. Mm-hmm. And there's no way he's going to walk out the door and they'll get nothing. I can't imagine him walking out the door for free and whoever he's going to not having to pay something.
But that's in the contract.
No, I know it is, but I don't think Messi's that type of guy. Messi will understand that if he just walks out the door, it's going to cost them 200 or 300 million to replace him. He knows that. And I'm not saying that any club is going to turn around and pay 200 or 300 million for a guy who's nearly, coming in 33? But I just think if he does walk, he will figure something out with the team he's going to, that they get some sort of compensation.
If he rang you up, Ali, and said, Ali, what should I do? What would you advise him to do?
I would tell him, Lionel, this is not a decision just based on numbers, and this is a decision based on feelings, on emotions. And while people want to make an objective decision, I think this is also a subjective decision. It has to do with the fact that this is a man who has grown up and matured as a man within this institution. That he was a boy and now he is who he has become and has been part of this institution. And when you do that, as Stevie would know about Liverpool, you bleed the colors of that club. And so to walk away from that, it's something that I would not recommend. Here, he calls the shots. Whether that's the perception or not, he calls the shot. He is who he is. He's adored everywhere he goes. He walks on water in Barcelona. And while he may walk on water somewhere else, I'm thinking that Barcelona and Lionel Messi are meant to be together.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.